What's up, champ? I'm so pumped to do this one for you because we're going to attack one of my favorite subjects, and that's full body workouts. We're going to go through the whole full body workout out of my book program that's coming out later this year. Yes, Vinny's got a book coming to bookstores. It's so cool. I've been wanting to do this forever, and it's finally coming out, and I'm going to walk you through the ultimate full body workout for mass. So if you want to get bigger and stronger, if you want to add size to your frame, you want to pay close attention here. I'm not going to spoon feed you guys. I want you guys to start understanding principles so that you're in the gym making decisions based on time-tested principles and not just the latest, flavor of the week technique, all right? Techniques come and go, principles never change, all right? So there's going to be 5 things we discuss here. And before we dive in, a lot of people are thinking, oh shit, he's talking about full body workouts. I've been training for 4 years. This full body workouts are for beginners. Bullshit. Complete bullshit. That mindset came around when the bodybuilding mafia and the supplement cartel started coming into the picture in the 1960s, and Joe Weider started spewing all this bullshit, using Arnold to sell magazines and to sell all these crappy supplements and all this weird gear. This started back in the 60s, guys. And we got to expose these lies here. Full body workouts are not just for beginners. And why is that? Well, you have to understand that your body is a product of what you can recover from. One of my favorite sayings is, you are what you can recover from. And what most guys do is they're trying to build their body with what I call a sledgehammer. And the nail is you're trying to get the nail into the hole, and they're using this sledgehammer to try and get the nail in the hole, and all they're doing is bending the nail. And you're not going to get a bent nail into the hole, which means you're not going to build your body. Really what you just need to do is you just got to tap the nail, tap the nail, tap the nail. You just got to, Lee Haney says, you just got to stimulate the muscle, not annihilate the muscle. So all this volume stuff has come from a world that was influenced by drugs. I'm telling you, guys that have to do tons and tons of volume to grow are typically guys with phenomenal genetics and who are chemically enhanced. All right, so you have to ask yourself, am I following somebody who's enhanced? They've got a chemistry experiment going on inside them. And if they do, then the rules don't apply. But I'm going to even tell you that full body workouts are great for guys who are on gear as well. Not when they're on gear, but when they come off the gear, because their recovery ability changes. All right, I'm going on a number of tangents, but I want to go back to how to design the ultimate full body workout. One of the first things we want to do is figure out frequency, and a full body workout is going to be best done 3 times per week. All right, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, it doesn't really matter. And what we want to do is we want to break the body up, and we want to break it up with science. We want to have a rhyme and a reason for what we're doing on each one of those days. And what do? We go to the principles, the research. And what does the research say about building mass? It's very straightforward. 3 mechanisms of hypertrophy: muscle damage, mechanical tension, and metabolic stress. So what does that mean in English? That means we're going to have a day where we overload the stretch position, which is muscle damage. We're going to have a day where we lift some heavy stuff, do some lower reps, that's mechanical tension. And then we're going to have a day where we do some higher rep stuff. And we're going to train with a lot of volume and shorter rest periods. So that's lesson number 1. If you're taking notes, I want you to write that down. Full body workouts are divided into goals. Every goal has a purpose. So you're going to have Monday as your heavy day. Wednesday is going to be your stretch day, and then Friday is going to be your volume day. And now you know, okay, today's my heavy day. I got to take my caffeine today. I got to increase neural awareness, central nervous system. Friday's my high volume day. That's the day I'm going to make sure I'm carved up because I'm going to need a lot of glycogen to get through that workout. Wednesday's my damage day. I'm going to be very, very sore. So, okay, Wednesday, make a note. Going to have to make some extra time to take a cold shower after the workout. And now you're taking control of everything because you've got a plan. And planning, I'm going to butcher this. Failing to plan is planning to fail. All right, my favorite saying of all time. So that's the first thing. So step number 1, guys, is to break your days into goals based on principles, based on science, okay? Step number 2 is to break the actual workouts into different exercises, all right? So on our heavy day, we're gonna go after what the bodybuilding world would call the bang for your buck exercises. And that's where we're going to do our deadlifts, our military press, our chest, our bench press. We're going to do those big compound lifts. And that's your opportunity to just get strong and say, hey, look, I hit a PB on my deadlift. And it's from those Monday workouts that you look forward to. On Wednesday, when we're doing our damage workouts, we're really stretching the muscle. That's where we're really focusing on controlling, getting into a lengthen range, and that muscle is just tearing to shreds in a good way, okay? We're always applying micro progression, but you're going to create an adaptation, and that's where you're selecting exercises that challenge the length and position of the movement. So there's a rhyme and a reason to all the exercises on this day. Isn't this fascinating? There's actually a rhyme and a reason for the exercises you put on a specific day, and because we have knowledge. All right, now what do we do on our volume day, the Friday workout? Well, very simple. We're doing more of our isolation moves. And if we're doing sets of 20 and 30 reps, this is where we're going to start hitting some of the parts of the muscle that we didn't hit. So if on Monday we did a military press, which I'll be frank guys, is just pretty much a front delt, a little side delt exercise. On our Friday day, we're going to do more rear delt flies. We're going to do some lower lateral raises, things that we missed out on the other days. So at the end of the week, we hit the muscle from 3 different angles. We stimulated it 3 times. And best of all, we used quality with every single workout. So we spread everything out over the course of the week. So every set we did was quality. And I'll talk to you guys about that whole idea in a moment. So that's how we select our exercises. Another little thing, just if we look at the strength curve is something that determines where the muscle's going to, the movement's going to be most challenging based on our leverage points. So on Monday, I would be doing all exercises that emphasize the mid-range of the movement. Okay, so bench press, military press, deadlifts, squats. On our Friday workout, when we're doing all of our stress sets, we're focusing more on stuff that's in the shortened end. So we're doing lateral raises, really emphasizing the top. Rear delt raises, really focusing on the back. Bicep curls, really focusing on the back. Tricep curls, really focusing on the shortened end. So that's how we're selecting exercises. What about the midweek on Wednesday when we're doing our damage workout? Now, that's when we do all of our stretch exercises. That's where we do all the things that emphasize the lengthen end. So at the end of the week, not only have we hit all the different muscle fiber types, we've also hit all points of the strength curve, and we've used a variety of exercises to do that. Full body workouts are freaking amazing. They're so much fun. And what I also love about full body workouts here, guys, and when we're designing these, is every time you go to the gym, we're doing a minimal amount of sets because you only have one exercise per body part. So if you see on your program today, it's, let's say a stress day, only 3 sets of 30, 3 sets of 25, whatever, for say cable curls, you're going to make those sets count. You're not going to pace yourself. You're like, I got 3 sets here to make this count. All right? So now what we've done is we've focused on the whole concept of quality versus quantity. All right, and why do I love this whole idea? Well, this whole idea comes back to one of my favorite analogies when it comes to building muscle, and that's the suntan versus sunburn analogy. So a lot of guys, I gave you the sledgehammer analogy. Here's another analogy. I think I like this one a little bit more. The suntan analogy really understands that we're always focusing on just some type of minimal effective adaptation. All right, if you've never been in the sun, let's say for you were out, you're inside all winter, and now the sun's come out. How much sun do you need to get a response? I mean, you literally need 1 minute more than you've had in the last couple months. That's going to create some form of positive response. And then when you've been out there for a minute, you're going to do 5 minutes, and then 5 minutes to maybe 10 minutes. But we don't jump into 20 minutes. And that's the mistake a lot of guys make with split programs. They haven't earned the volume. They haven't earned the time out in the sun. They've got this really backwards analogy. They're like, well, if I kill the muscle, it's going to adapt to that, and it'll need even more, so you're going to skip this phase. No, you just damage the muscle more. This is how stupid that thought process is. It's like, you go into a house where there's a burning fire and you get 3rd-degree burns. And you're like, okay, well, I want to get worse burns. So now I have a tolerable limit. of experiencing that degree, I'll be able to handle that. I need to fire even harder so I experience 4th degree burns. You know what I'm saying? No, the excess damage doesn't make you more tolerable. It just makes you excessively sore for no reason. All right? You could get the same benefit if you haven't learned how to train with quality for like say 3 or 4 sets. Doing 12 sets is of no benefit. You really just need to add what's called micro progression. You need to go to say 4 or 5 sets. You just need a small amount of more. More is not better, okay? So especially when you're training drug-free, all right? These are the guys who follow my work. So this is why we have to stay away from guys who are chemically enhanced, guys who are genetically gifted. They're going to take you down the wrong path. All right, so we've kind of gone off on a little bit of a few tangents there, but I'm trying to stress to you the importance of why full body workouts are important. And you have to understand that your ability, your level of toleration is going to change over time. For instance, there'll be certain times in the year where your level of tolerance is going to be less. Let's look at a guy who's on drugs. So he's on drugs to help him do more volume. Do you think he still needs to do the same amount of volume when he comes off of drugs? What do you think? No, he needs to do less. His body isn't going to be able to recover like it did. So a guy who's on drugs should do full body workouts or something much less when he's on his whatever you call it, an off cycle or whatever. See what I'm saying? Because his level of ability to recover, his pain tolerance, if you will, is going to be lower. So you have to understand that your level of tolerability, level of accustomedness to stress, it's going to change throughout the year. And it's going to be based on what you did in the previous phase. So for somebody who's been training, say, 6 times a week, they're probably going to enter a state of overtraining, over fatigue. So when they go to a full body workout, now they got 3 extra days per week to recover, they're going to respond really, really well. And they're like, holy crap, this is great. I'm responding. And it's not anything magical about the full body workout and the fewer times per week. It's based on what they did prior. Their level of stress, their level of level of responsiveness to stress has changed. All right, so they're now able to recover. They're able to get more quality, so their body starts to grow. All right, so let's talk about step 3, the rep ranges. Everyone wants to know how many sets, volume, intensity, how many reps, how many sets, what's the rest period. Those are great questions. Now, the ultimate answer always lies behind what's your muscle fiber type. If you don't know that, I'll put a quiz there that you can take. It'll tell you what it is, and then it'll direct you to a program and a way to train so that you get more from your workouts. So that's a little resource that you can come back to right now, because my book program doesn't come out until October of this year, October 18th, I think, to be exact. So when I'm writing a book program, I'm aware of the pros and cons of creating a book for people that I'm never going to meet, right? They're people that are just going to download and follow. So I have to apply the research, the science. So I have to kind of guess, so to speak, based on what we're trying to achieve. So that's what we're going to do here. So let's keep this in context. So on the heavy day, we'd have everybody do, say, 3 sets of 8. But this is a 10-week phase. So I don't have them do 3 sets of 8 for the entire 10 weeks. With the weeks, as they go on, we go to then 3 sets of 6. And then we go to, say, 4 sets of 4. So there's a progression model as the weeks roll on. And this is based on the concept of micro-progression. So we're going to increase the load as the weeks roll on. I'm not going to tell you to do 3 sets of 8 for 10 weeks, because I know you're going to adapt to that. And because it's a day we want to train heavy, we want to add more weight to the bar. So we're going to need lower rep ranges. As the intensity comes up, we got to adjust the volume, and that's how we're going to proceed on that day. All right, so let's look at the progression on the opposite end of the spectrum when we've got our stress day, when we're, say, doing 3 sets of 30. So how could we progress that over 10 weeks? Well, we could start with 3 sets of 30 with 60 seconds rest for the first couple weeks. And then we could do, say, 3 sets of 30 with 45 seconds rest. Remember, the concept here we're applying is Remember, the goal here is cell swelling, lots of stress, pump the muscle up. So what we're going to have to do here is do more work in less time, and that's where we focus on improving density, and that's what we're going to do. So there's going to be a progression model built in to the rep and set schemes. Listen guys, if this is too much for you, that's okay. I'm not trying to make this complicated. All I'm talking about are details associated with a word that everybody throws around, which is progression. Everyone talks about progress. Just progressive overload. Well, how? There's a lot of different ways to apply. I can name 12 different ways to apply progressive overload, and none of them have to do with just adding more weight. That's just one of many different ways to apply the concept of progressive overload. So that's why I'm giving you little examples so you can add little things like, yeah, I've been doing 3 sets of 20 for a long time now, and I feel like I'm getting used to it. Okay, keep doing it. Reduce your rest periods. And that's another model of progression I add to these program designs. It's really cool stuff. So I'm not trying to make this complicated. I'm the guy that wants to make things as simple as possible, but there still needs to be progression models in place, or else you can't defy principles that have been around forever. All right? You can't defy laws of physics, so to speak. You know what I mean? Next 2 ones are short, guys, so we're almost there. The 4th one is a deload week. I always do this on the last week of my program, so I do it in a very specific way. What we do is we reduce the volume and we maintain the intensity. A lot of my guys who follow me say they hate this week because they're like, oh man, these workouts are so short, I want to go for it. But I tell them, listen, this week is going to prepare you to where we're going next. And where are we going next? We're not going to stay on a full body split forever. When you buy my book, Living Large, you're going to see phase 2, we go from 3 workouts per week to 4 workouts per week. Pretty cool, right? Because we've now earned the right to add some volume, because in this past 10 weeks, we've been focusing on quality. And now we only add more if we can maintain the quality. I learned this from my track days. You're not going to do junk sets. You're not going to do junk miles, as our coach called them. We want to focus on quality, getting more from less. So phase 2, we're going to go to 4 times per week. And because we're going to 4 times per week, I want to prepare you for that, because that's going to be a whole new stimulus. And everyone says, holy crap, I can't believe how sore I am. Yeah, because you've only learned how to adapt to 3 workouts per week. Now we're going to learn how to adapt to 4 workouts per week. And this is why, comes back to that sledgehammer analogy where we just focus on tapping the nail in. We don't need to smash it in. And that's what most guys do. They jump from like nothing to 5-6 times per week. And they just experience what we call sunburn instead of a suntan. And a sunburn isn't going to help you. You're not going to get a better tan being in the sun longer if you only need to be in there for a few minutes. See what I'm saying? And guess what happens after phase 4? Then we go to 6 times per week. So we've earned the right again to increase volume, but it's not until week 20 to week 30. So it's a very logical progression. All right, and these are small things that really help my guys get great results and guys to make gains without getting hurt and without wasting their time. So that's the 4th element. I got one more for you. Step 5 is for anybody who's over 12% body fat. So if you're under 12% body fat, you're just going to stick to the program 3 times per week. Now, what if you want to lose fat? It's really simple. We're going to utilize our Tuesday, Thursdays, and Saturdays with some interval cardio. These workouts aren't going to last any longer than 20 to 25 minutes. So Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, I don't care if you go on the bike, if you go to the stairs, I don't care if you go for a walk, I don't care what form of cardio it is. What you're going to do is interval training, all right? And that's going to make up the rest of your week. So you're going to have a higher training frequency because you need to lose at least 1% of your body fat per week, all right? So I said I'd help the guys who are looking to lose fat using the same weight training program, and that's all you need to do. Add 3 interval training workouts on those off days. So now you're doing something almost every day of the week. You still need to take 1 full rest day, which is going to be your Sunday. Always take a full rest day. That's going to be the day of rest, and then you get back to it, all right? And the main thing here, guys, is if you're losing, I like starting with 3 times per week of interval training because you're able just to increase the effort from week to week. And most people, that's about perfect from my experience. If you're losing weight too fast, it's going to slow down eventually. So, it's a good place to start. And I like it because you're going to see some quick weight loss right off the bat. And the interval training isn't going to interfere with what you're doing with the weight days too much. And besides, your goal is to lose fat anyways, so it doesn't really matter. Your goal is to lose fat. With the weight training, you're not going to lose any muscle, all right? So research has shown it's almost impossible to lose muscle until you're like, fasting for 72 hours straight. So we're not doing any of that. So when you get that fat off, you're gonna look amazing. So stick to that interval cardio on those off days. So that's it, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed it. That's the ultimate full body workout. If you want to get a copy of my book, I believe you can pre-order it on Amazon. I haven't even checked it myself. My book publisher just said they put a link up there. So I'll put a link in the description box or above me here. And if you want to pre-order a copy, go for it. It's going to go on sale sometime in October. It's a real book. It's an incredible book. I spent a lot of time working on it. I had to condense all this. You know me, I love to talk, right? They're like, Vince, we can only put 200 words in the book. So you've got to put your best stuff and only the stuff that's going to transform a guy's body in this book. So it was a really fun experience for me, and I really hope you pick the book up. I know you get a lot of value out of it. The 30-week program in itself will pay for your, I don't even know how much we're charging. I think these books are $15 or $20. I don't even know. So whatever the cost, you're gonna get your money's worth times 100, because this program design is absolutely killer. All right, so I'll put a link there. I'd love for you to check it out. I've said enough. I'll see you next time. Let me know what you want me to cover in the comment section below. And don't forget, guys, there's only one way to live, and that's living large. Peace out.